Hi everybody, Rob Keys here doing another edition of What's in the Box. For this unboxing video, I don't actually have the physical box. I've already opened it, but I'm going to be talking about Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. It's still one of the biggest talking points online and in my circles. If you didn't already see it, I put up a review on this channel sort of like 10 days after the movie came out, sort of reflecting and recapping that first 10 days since release and talking about the response from fans and critics to the movie. Of course, we have a more official review on screenrant.com in written form, and we did a podcast review, and I think it's episode 10 of the Total Geek Call podcast. You can find that on screenrant.com as well. But in the review, specifically in this channel, where I spend a good 10 or 20 minutes talking about the movie, I talk about how a lot of the negative reviews are sort of ignoring or neglecting to talk about the very, very strong elements, I called it specifically elements, of Batman v Superman. And I kind of listed a whole bunch of things I thought were super impressive, the type of thing Zack Snyder is the best at. And not just visual design cues and action and set pieces, but like crafting the little details of each character. And Batman was the best example of that because his whole world, from his Bat Cave, his old Wayne Manor, to his new house on the lake, to his gadgets, his mech suit, the tech behind what he does in his vehicles, all that shit is super cool. So, that's what I'm going to talk about today because if you've followed this channel for a while and seen some of my older unboxing videos, I haven't done too many recently, but I've done quite a few art books. I love collecting from every like major video game franchise that does like visual design so well. I'm talking Assassin's Creed, the Halo games, even the Battlefield games, which are like very, very real world militaristic. There's so much artistry and talent that goes into designing the environments and the characters and their look and the lighting and all these cool things. So, without further ado, I wanted to quickly talk about this. I literally just took the saran wrap off of it. I haven't had a chance to actually go through it yet, but I will. But everyone talks about having those cool coffee table books like encyclopedias or photo albums. But for me, it's like cool, geeky art books, man. So I just had to get this one, and I got another one too. I'll talk about in a second. But this one, if you're a fan of the elements of Batman v Superman, even if you don't like the movie, you have to appreciate the design that went into characters like Batman and Wonder Woman, and more importantly, designing Metropolis and Gotham in a modern age and how they contrast. Because in the DCEU, they are like neighboring cities. You know, it's sort of like New Jersey and New York across the bay. But anyways, there's a foreword in here from Jeff Johns, DC Comics mastermind Jeff Johns, who's got his fingers in seemingly every part of the DC universe. And then after that, there's a kind of lengthier introduction from Henry Cavill, who plays Superman. But we'll just open this up and take some highlights in here. So this thing covers not only the main characters, but it shows you the work that went into designing like Lois Lane's clothing, the world of Martha Kent, beyond just the trinity of characters, designing the cities as well, Metropolis, the nightmare sequence in the film, Gotham, and how they're all different. So here, I'll just, you know what, I'm just going to flip through the pages. I'm going to take off the outer cover here. We'll try to find something cool to talk about or look at. Introduction, blah, blah, blah. This is the official art book for Dawn of Justice. And again, I think if you're looking forward to what's coming next year is Wonder Woman and Justice League Part 1. You can see a lot of the designs in here that are going to inspire a lot of what you see there. So this thing's mainly just chock full of concept art and official photos, not just stills from the film, but behind the scenes photos too, the making of process. But here's the Jeff Johns forward. I'm not going to read it out loud. I've done that in some of my previous videos, but I don't think that makes for good watching. And here's a lengthier intro from Cavill. Plus, if you want this, you should just go buy it. There you go. You got to see Snyder. That's got to be the Kent farm in the background during the spoiler, the final scene in the film. And you see a lot of the production team and artists behind it all. That's cool concept art of Superman crash landing. All right, yeah. So the first section is all about Superman's design in his world. Lots of concept art of him pulling that boat. I don't want to show you everything. There's the Day of the Dead scene in Mexico, which was actually shot, by the way, in Detroit, where they shot most of the film. And there's Lois Lane, so you get to see her world as well. If you want to see more, get the book. I just want to get to some highlights. There's Superman crashing into some stuff. You can see how they design a lot of the action set pieces. That's Superman grabbing a car. You can see the iconic statue, since Superman, 18 months after the events of Man of Steel, is worshipped around the world but not by everyone. Scoot McNairy's character does not like Superman because he lost his legs. And you can see how they digitally inserted a lot of those elements, like the Daily Planet, the Superman statue in Detroit to make it look like Metropolis. And of course, detailed look at the Daily Planet, speaking of. The home of Perry White, played by Larry Fishburne. And there's some cool quotes in here from Snyder, his wife and producing partner, Deborah Snyder. Lex, not my favorite character in this movie. Weird casting choice, but you can see a lot of cool stuff there. I'm not going to show you. You can get the book if you want to see more. Here's some cool shots, though. This is what you want to see. The world of Batman. And the next thing I'm going to talk about, it's all focused on Batman. But look at that. Looks like a beefy... That looks like a rendering from one of the Arkham games from developer Rocksteady. The Bat Vigilante. So, like some radical designs here. Look at that. I'm not going to spend too much time on Batman, actually, because I'm going to show you something really cool on that front. Alfred, look at that. Handsome Silver Fox, Jeremy Irons. The Wayne Manor and Crypt. That's what I'm most interested in. Ben Affleck, who plays Bruce Wayne in this universe, he's already apparently written a script. I think he's partnered with Jeff Johns on that one or another one or something, but apparently he already has a screenplay ready to go for a Batman standalone film he would love to get to work on right after Justice League Part 1. And in that movie, I really want to see the history. I want to see what happened in those 20 years leading up to the events of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, because we see his manor in it, and it's ruined. It's decrepit. It looks like it was hit by a bomb or burnt out or something. I want to know what life was like in that manor before that mansion got ruined by the Joker or whatever. I want to see what happened to Robin, like the version of Robin whose costume we see not only wrecked, but we see the writings of the Joker on it. And it's like, how did the Joker go into the Batcave and draw that? Or like did Joker kill Robin and then leave that on his costume? And then for some reason Batman kept the costume and put it on a nice mannequin in his Batcave. Those kind of things I want to learn more of. I want to see what the life or the origin story of this Bruce Wayne, not the origin like his parents died, we already saw that, but I want to see his like last couple of years of life and fighting criminals that led to him being who he is in Batman v Superman, being this crazy, gotta kill Superman type character. Speaking of which, there's his parents. If you watch the Walking Dead Season 6 finale, these two have quite a meeting. Okay. Look at the Batcave. A lot of the construction elements, the vehicles, of course. I'll get into that after. You get to see Gotham City, the criminally overloaded Gotham City. Nightmare Batman. I'm not going to spend time on that either. Oh, armored mech Batman. So just gorgeous art stuff. And some stills from the film. Designing those cool action scenes. Oh, and Doomsday. Ugh, CGI troll. I'm curious what he was going to look like. It was too good of an opportunity to pass up to have this image of the Trinity, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman standing together. That had to be in this movie. That's Zack Snyder talking about introducing Wonder Woman. Okay, I'm curious if there's other art here. Oh, they barely spent any time on Doomsday. I guess it's not a highlight of the movie, but look, the Batcave. Look how cool that is. All little details. That's director Zack Snyder standing there. Practically designed set. Amazing set piece. Cool. And there's acknowledgements at the end. So that is the official art of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice book. And this is written by Peter Apariello. He's an LA-based writer whose credits include the screenplay to the video game 300 March to Glory, and he also wrote The Watchmen, the film companion, and Watchmen, the official art book for that as well. So collaborator of Zack Snyder on his works. So that's the cover thing. All right, cool. We ain't done yet, though, because in my previous video when talking about the movie, again, I kept talking about the elements that are so strong, and I think that's holds most true with introducing a new Batman, which was a tough task, and I think that was the biggest accomplishment of Zack Snyder's work in Batman v Superman is making a new kick-ass Batman. So, what is Batman without his costume, his vehicles, his tech, and his look? All in here, man. I did open this one and kind of browse through it real quickly, but everything, like even that's a good sign. The details of every element of his costume, every weapon, all the different logo designs. I'll show you some of the other logos they're looking at too in a second. I made some notes of good pages, but everything, even like different Batwing designs and what Zack Snyder was going for, things you don't even see in the film that were put into the designs of these things. This covers it all. If you are a Batman fan, if you're a Batman movie fan, there's a shit ton more Batman on the way. There's going to be multiple Batman solo films. You're going to see Batman kicking ass in 2 Justice League films. You're going to see him in Suicide Squad. He is going to be a centerpiece of the DC extended universe for years to come. And it all begins here. This is your most insightful look into the design of this Batman and how he functions practically in this world. So, cool fucking book. I would almost recommend this one if you're a Batman fan more than the art book for the whole film. I think for me, I like the little the details, the nitty gritty, just like in the Marvel universe, seeing all the different Iron Man costumes and how it works internally, and how he puts it on, takes it off, and how that functions with the Stark Tower and the Avengers base, all that cool shit. So, anyways. You'll see a lot of familiar images from the other book as well, a lot of overlap, but this one shows you a bunch of stuff you don't see in there. So just seeing the table of contents here, you got 6 pages on Batman's body armor, which they of course made it look like it was distressed and worn and ruined. You can see when he puts on his thing, it looks like paper mache all cut up with duct tape or something. You got a bunch of pages on designing the cowl, 4 pages on designing the cape, 2 pages on designing utility belt, bunch of pages on the gauntlet, the mech suit, designing the Nightmare Batman, gets a lot of pages too, and the armory, of course, everything from batarangs to his bat branding, the grappling gun, grenade launcher, grenade, sticky bombs, digital leech, and that's the thing we saw in when Bruce Wayne meets Clark Kent at the Lex Luthor party, and he puts that little leech thing to steal the data, because he's trying to find out where the kryptonite is. We got lots of pages in the Batwing and Batmobile and the Batcave, and there's a bunch of stuff on Superman and Wonder Woman as well. But 3/4 of this book is all dedicated to Batman's stuff, his tech and gadgets. So, the Batmobile, cool friggin' design. Okay, I want to skip to show you those logos I was talking about. That is on page 23. Bunch of stuff in the bat armor and how it functions, why it's designed the way it is. Of course, the goal was to make this Batman designed after the Frank Miller Batman. He was supposed to be physically larger. His silhouette's supposed to be larger than Superman, which is crazy. That's without the armor. And add the armor to that, and he's a tank. But here, this is what I found interesting. These are all the designs on the left page here, I'll show you, of what the logo could have looked like. But isn't that insane? There's some really friggin' weird ones in there. Some, you can see some are very reminiscent of Christopher Nolan's Batman. You got some classic. There's even one that looks like the 60s, the 66 era Adam West Batman. Yeah, you got some like 90s cartoon, the good old yellow and the Tim Burton Batman designs. Even there's some in here that look very Batman Beyond-esque. So that's very cool. The attention to detail that went into every aspect of the suit can be seen in the variety of bat silhouettes considered for the chest. So all of these were suggestions and art for what Bruce Wayne's Batman could have worn. So they went with that kind of thicker classic design, and that thicker design matches like the design of this Batman. It also fits the Superman logo as well, very well as well, because obviously the Batman v Superman logo combines the two. So that was really cool. But man, there's some very like I hope they use some of these logos for like if they can introduce a Nightwing or a Batman Beyond in this universe. That'd be dope. Look at the design and the tech. What else? Oh, I want to show you the Nightmare Batman because I noticed something cool in that artwork. The gloves, the little metal pieces so he can punch the shit out of dudes. And his bracers. Lots of pages on the mech suit and how that functions. His grappling guns, all sorts of fun stuff. We're trying to get to page 49 here. Okay, Nightmare Batman. This is that weird future vision dream sequence. It's not actually a dream sequence. It's some sort of vision from the future. Presumably, the Flash and Batman found a way to send messages back in time to warn Batman of the future. It's kind of a weird, convoluted plot point inserted in Batman v Superman, among many other things. But what caught me here is I didn't notice this before. Maybe I did and just forgot. But I'm going to show you a close-up of what Batman v Superman wears in that desert sequence. And he's carrying an assault rifle. But look on the butt of that gun. Real close. Can you see that? Do you see that Joker card on the back of the gun? Right there. No, it's not focused, but that is a Joker card, which he like duct taped to the back of his gun. And that's kind of weird. Maybe it's symbolic of him just going crazy and losing it, because he shoots and murders all sorts of people, Superman supporters or something, in that weird alternate future. So that was kind of cool. And there's other designs of what it's going to look like. And of course, the armory. Batman's prepared to wreck shit in this film. But another thing I wanted to highlight, oh yeah, all the different Batarangs designs and how he uses it to brand people, how he wears them on his suit, and leaves them as markers behind for the cops. Okay, so I'm going to go to page 79 now. I'm not going to spend time on the grappling gun or grenades. You guys know how that shit works. The leech tech vehicles. Okay. Maybe I totally missed this both times I saw the movie, but the Batwing design, and I'm going to pick up the Lego Batwing toy set. Maybe I should make a video on that too. But anyways, the Batwing is a very cool vehicle, but I didn't see this in the movie, but it's designed to fold up and it physically look like a bat. Look at that concept art. Does it do that in the film? Let me know in the comments if it does. I don't recall it looking like that. I thought it just like landed and hovered and stayed in that position, but I guess for storage purposes, its wings were meant to fold up. And this is what Zack Snyder said about this. I thought this was really cool. Zack Snyder says, I wanted the Batwing, or he says it, to have a bat-like qualities, obviously, but not to be too goofy. He says that's from his initial brief for Batman's airborne vehicle. So he set about designing what I'd like to call a pretty cool and practical airplane. It has vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL, capabilities. It has foldable wings for storage. It's kind of modeled the same ways of a plane might be able to go on an aircraft carrier. That's true. They do fold up wings to store them on aircraft carriers. One of the mandates was that there would be no runway for it, so it had to be able to take off vertically. That makes sense in today's day and age. So again, that's that. There's a really cool shot here where there's like a tarp on it, and it looks like an actual fucking bat. Look at that. That is real cool. I kind of wish they showed that in the movie. I mean, of course they can in the Batman solo movies, but that's really neat. If he's got like secondary vehicles or he pulls this thing out of storage, I like how it actually, with that coloring, looks like a freaking bat. So that's very cool. Because the Batwing by itself doesn't really look like a bat. But, I mean, look at this. That is not very bat-esque. Almost UFO-esque. Looks kind of cool, though. And what else? Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in the Batmobiles and the wings that can come out of that. Look at that. Pretty neat. Other designs. I'm not going to show you that. You can see the construction of it. It is a vehicle that actually drives. They had this used on set, and they even brought a couple of them downtown Toronto when they were shooting Suicide Squad, because Batman and the Batmobile do show up in that film. And yeah, there's some stuff in the other characters too, the Batcave. But if you want to see all that good stuff, it's another great official art book for Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Anyways, I wanted to show you these things because I have this collector's mentality, and I like collecting hardcovers. I buy hardcovers of like comic runs I like, and I keep them wrapped. And I open this just to show you, but I almost like just storing it. But these are really cool collector's books and coffee table books. I like displaying them too. It's just I like collecting hardcovers. I like having that library of cool geeky shit. So I'm gonna get one. I don't own any of the official art books for the Marvel movies, and it's hard because they have like 2 or 3 a year now. So I was like, I got to pick one I really want to see. I should have probably maybe gotten like the Avengers: Age of Ultron, just because it has so many characters and designs in it. But maybe if there's a Civil War one, there probably already is. I'll pick up one for that. We'll see, because Doctor Strange comes out this fall, and I know firsthand that film has some very, very cool concept art. So that might be a cool book to talk about as well at some point. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll put a link down below to some related unboxing videos and my Batman v Superman review, so you can know what I'm talking about, because I share my thoughts about the film. And if you have more thoughts about the film you want to talk about, or what you're excited to see next, and you have some ideas for Batman, maybe your likes and dislikes about the new the new Ben Affleck version, let me know in the comments. And like and subscribe for more. I might have some gameplay videos coming up. I started playing Enter the Gungeon, and the big update came out this morning for the Division, so if I have time, I'll try to make something on that. We'll see. No promises. And I turned on MechWarrior for the first time in many months last week, so I'll figure out something to put on the channel. I'd like to get back to doing some sort of video a day. But yeah, let me know what you want to see. I want to make sure I'm making videos that people want to see. So until next time, cheers.